All right, will do. What do you do when you spot a wild animal outside your home or up in the mountains? With Utah's growing population and wide array of outdoor activities, wildlife experts say the chance of running into wildlife is pretty high. You may run into big animals out hiking or even see a cougar that followed some deer into the valley. If you do, not only do you know how to handle it, but what do you do if you're supposed to report it? Helping us with answers is Faith Jolly with Utah's Division of Wildlife Resources. Faith, good to talk to you here this morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. What are some animals that people may run into here in Utah?
Yeah, so it definitely depends on the time of year. So one of the most common probably that people are going to see is deer. And this time of year, as you mentioned, they're migrating down to the valley areas in search of food, especially as the snow starts to fall up in the mountains and higher elevation areas. And so, yeah, people may possibly see those in their neighborhoods in the coming weeks. We also have elk, moose. They also will probably start migrating down this time of year. And as you mentioned, we also have cougars. Sometimes they'll follow the deer into the valleys. That's kind of their main food source. We have bears. You probably won't see those as much this time of year since they are hibernating. Most of them are kind of gone to hibernate right now. And yeah, those are kind of some common sightings. Obviously, we have some rare species that you won't really see, like wolverines. But yeah, we're kind of spreading the message, at this time of year as some of these sightings may increase. Obviously not all wildlife sightings are created equal. So we wanted to kind of break down when you should report some of these sightings in your neighborhoods.
So you see some of these things like a moose or a cougar or even some wild turkeys. I mean, when is that time that you have to call up or report it online to DWR?
Yeah, so one of the big things is anytime one of these animals looks sick or, maybe possibly injured, if it's acting aggressively, especially with some of our predator species like cougars, that's definitely something that you should report to the DWR so we can come out, assess the situation, potentially relocate that animal to kind of a safer area, just for public safety purposes, but also to, for the safety of that animal. If you happen to see just kind of a one-off sighting of a cougar maybe wandering through your neighborhood, it's caught on your doorbell camera or something, that's not typically something you'd need to report. So we're trying to just kind of help people know the difference of like when to report it, when not to report it. And usually it comes down to some kind of public safety situation, either for people or for the animal itself.
Yeah, if you look at some of the video we're showing people at home, you see some cougars walking across your neighborhood. You would think that that's one of those immediate times I want to call DWR, but you're saying that's not always the case.
Correct, yeah. So it's not always the case. Yeah, typically you should just report it if it's killed something in your neighborhood or yard, because that's going to keep it returning to that area. Then also, as I mentioned, if it exhibits that aggressive behavior, that can definitely be something that can be a public safety concern. And then if it's appeared, repeatedly on your security cameras, and so it indicates that it's kind of staying in the area for whatever reason, that's something we definitely want to have reported so we can come and relocate that animal. But as I mentioned, if it's just a one-off sighting, you catch a glimpse of it on your doorbell camera or security camera, that's not necessarily something you need to report, because typically it's just moving through the area. And by the time, you call and report it to us, it's long gone from that area.
So how do we report it?
Yeah, so you can visit our website, wildlife.utah.gov. It has all of our offices. So we have 5 regional offices across the state. And so we usually recommend calling the one that's nearest to where you live. And so that's kind of our biologists or conservation officers in that area are closer, so they'll be able to respond.
And of course, we're showing that website for everyone there at home. And of course, the DWR website, we'll have a link on our website, abc4.com/GMU, talking about what to do when you see big animals out there with Faith Jolly from Utah's Division of Wildlife Resources. Good talking to you, Faith.
Yeah, thanks so much.